All right, let's get right into it. The Middle East has just erupted after a massive joint U.S.-Israeli offensive against Iran, an operation they're calling Epic Fury. So today, we're going to break down the lightning-fast and frankly terrifying reaction from one of the most powerful groups in the entire region. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the spark that lit this whole fire. Then we're going to zoom in on the Houthi response from Yemen. After that, we'll unpack the weapons they say they have. Then we'll see how this whole thing is aimed right at the heart of global trade. And finally, we'll touch on the economic shockwave that's, well, it's already here.
So first things first, we have to understand that what was, for a long time, kind of a shadow war just burst out into the open. We're talking full-scale direct conflict now. And it all happened so fast, it's kind of mind-boggling. Early Saturday morning, boom. U.S. and Israeli forces hit hundreds of military sites across Iran. Almost instantly, Iran hits back. And then, right on the heels of that, Houthi officials in Yemen say, that's it, our ceasefire is over. I mean, we're talking about a regional firestorm that ignited in just a matter of hours.
Okay, so let's focus on this piece of it, because the reaction coming out of Yemen, that threatens to turn this from a regional conflict into a full-blown global crisis. And this is the message they sent out to the world. You got to understand, this isn't just some political statement. It's a direct threat from a senior Houthi official. He's basically saying, we're just getting started. And wow, what a complete 180. I mean, just last week, there was this very delicate peace holding things together, a ceasefire actually, brokered back with the Trump administration, that had stopped the attacks from Yemen. Today, that peace is completely shattered. It's gone, replaced by a formal declaration of all-out war with Iran. So the big question is, what can the Houthis actually do? What kind of hardware are they bringing to the table that has the entire world holding its breath? Well, first up, you've got the Tufan missile. This is a huge piece of their arsenal. It's a long-range weapon that can reportedly travel over 1,500 kilometers. To put that in perspective, that puts targets way, way outside of Yemen's borders, easily within their reach. And then you have the Zulfikar. This is another long-range system they say they have. And it's a ballistic missile, which, it flies in this high arc way up and then comes screaming down on its target. That makes it incredibly difficult to intercept. So having both of these missile systems, well, that gives them a serious ability to strike pretty much anywhere they want in the region. And when you lay it all out like this, you can really see their strategy. They aren't just firing into the sky. They're aiming their missiles, the Tufan and Zulfikar, at a really critical Israeli port, Eilat. At the same time, their missiles and drones are targeting U.S. assets. And, this is the big one for the rest of the world, they're going after all the commercial ships trying to pass through the Red Sea. And that brings us to the map. Because really, this isn't just about what weapons they have. It's about where they get to use them from. Location here is, and I mean this, absolutely everything. Which brings us to the fundamental question, right? Why on earth does a conflict with this one group in Yemen have the power to shake up the entire global economy? And here's your answer. It's all about these maritime choke points. The Houthis are camped out right next to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which is basically the front door to the Red Sea. It is a vital artery for global trade, especially for oil. And when you realize they can threaten that while Iran is threatening the other major choke point, the Strait of Hormuz, well, you've got a recipe for a massive global crisis. And this is where it stops being theoretical. This is where you can see the immediate real-world fallout. The economic shockwave isn't coming, it's already here. Just look at this. Within hours of the first strikes, the price of Brent crude oil shot up by over 10%. That's a massive, instant reaction. That's basically the global energy markets hitting the panic button. And you know what that means for the rest of us. Probably higher prices at the pump, and soon. And it's not just about money and oil. There's a huge human cost. This number, 8 million. That's how many Indian nationals are working in the Gulf region. They were immediately put on an emergency alert. It just goes to show how many everyday people's lives are thrown into chaos when this kind of instability hits. So here's the bottom line. For the very first time, we are seeing real active threats against two of the planet's most vital superhighways for energy, all at the same time. You've got Iran threatening Hormuz and the Houthis threatening Bab el-Mandeb. It's a potential stranglehold on the world's energy supply. And that just leaves us with this one final, really sobering thought. When you start turning the world's main arteries for trade into battlegrounds, how long is it, really, until every single one of us, in every household, starts to feel that pressure.